Hello, and welcome to today's subscriber contract, reading stories set in Santa Fortuna and supplied to us today by Paul Anderson 37. So moving on to our briefing, short and sweet, 47 is having a try at the mission stories. And moving on to our targets, and today we have 5 of them, along with a free map. And for today's challenge, we'll be starting as the mansion staff. We're going to have a lockpick stored up in the village construction site, and we'll be bringing with us a vial of emetic poison, some coins, and a silenced pistol.
He wrote it for Martinez.
So right from the start and off the bat, we are going to stop wiping down the bar, make our way around to the other side, and we are going to add our emetic poison to the mysterious white powder on the right hand side. We're then going to go to the money counting room and collect up the lethal poison from the back of the room before returning to the recreation room where we started, trying to avoid that enforcer there. Our first target is now just sampling the suspicious white powder, and in a few moments that will hit his system and make him feel rather ill. There he goes.
Okay.
He's now going to make his way to the bathroom, and he is our first target. He's also a key figure in taking care of 2 of our other targets. So we're going to follow him into the bathroom, we're going to give the door a chance to close, and then we are going to introduce this gentleman to a nice bowl of cool water. And when we have dealt with him, he will drop a love letter from Hector to Andrea Martinez, which we are going to collect. There we go. We're going to take his outfit, and then we are going to make our way from the basement through the building and up to Hector Delgado's bedroom. So we're going to go this way to avoid any enforcers, along with any cameras. There are cameras outside of most of the main entrances and exits, but this little side door is unprotected. So we're going to make our way straight up and speak to Hector.
I believe this is yours.
My letter? You found it? You have no idea how long I've been
Once we
looking
have
for
given
this.
Hector his
You know what?
letter,
Take this.
he is going to give us the safe code for the safe in the basement. We don't actually need that. The point of this is just to give Hector his letter. He will now go and spruce himself up, and he will go and pay a visit to Andrea Martinez back down in the village. We are going to get there along with him. We're going to have to take a different route once again because there are cameras everywhere. We're going to hop out of the bathroom window by the museum, avoiding the camera by the security office. We're going to go over the wall, and then we're going to take out the 2 cameras outside the main entrance. We only need to deal with one of them, but just in case we have to come back this way, we'll take them both out. So while we're waiting for Hector Delgado to catch us up, we're going to do a little bit of setup for one of our other eliminations. So we're going to make our way around to the petrol garage and the small mechanic area here. We're going to grab the wrench from the tyre, and we're going to wait for the young lady to have her conversation with the mechanic, and when she moves off, we're going to render her unconscious, and then we can deal with her husband, the mechanic, who has a pot of glue that we require. So off she goes now. She's going to go and stand over by the river. We're going to not use the wrench to render her unconscious, and we're going to be as quiet as we can as we render her unconscious and drag her into the bushes here. Now, her husband will see this, or hear this at the very least, but he will very quickly lose interest and we can then make our way into the back of the mechanics area, turn on the radio. That will lure the mechanic out of the line of sight of anyone else. We're just going to wait by the tuk-tuk here with our wrench in hand, and when the mechanic goes to investigate, we can render him unconscious, collect up the glue that he has dropped, and then deposit him in the crate provided. So at this point, Hector Delgado should be well on his way to Andreas Martinez's compound. There he is, just up the road ahead of us. So he's going to go and have a conversation with Andrea. We're going to go around the long way again to avoid any cameras. One camera we are going to be dealing with is on the side of the compound. So we're going to go around the side of the musician's house. That's the one with all the music playing. We're going to take out the camera on the side of Andrea's compound. We really want to do this in less than 3 shots. There we go. So we're going to hop over the wall here, and just to be doubly sure, we're going to head around to the front. We're not trespassing, so we can be relatively cavalier. We do have one other camera to worry about at the front here, so we're just going to let that pan away so that we can get within range of Andrea and Hector, making sure that their conversation has started. And when that conversation has finished, Hector would have given Andrea a love letter, the one that we gave to him. Andrea will come up to the balcony here to read the letter, and Hector will go to the cliff edge or the water's edge below. Now that's what we're going to be waiting for. So here comes Andrea. She's going to start reading the letter, but we're not going to make a move until Hector Delgado is directly below us, or below Andrea. So I can see on the mini-map he is coming along the walkway now. So if we use instinct around about this point, we will see he is just positioning himself beneath us. There he is. And at this point we can then introduce Andrea Martinez to the river, and we can feed the piranhas nicely for the day. So the reason we've done it that way is that Hector Delgado will have seen Andrea hit the water. That will upset him greatly. Now he will either run and get a guard and go into full-blown panic mode, and in which case we'll be waiting around for a while, or he will have a little freak out and then he will head back to the Delgado mansion, so we can get all set up and ready ahead of him. Now this is where timing will come into play. As you can see, there's a young lady there outside the hostel, and we need her to be inside the hostel when Hector Delgado comes along. So again, above us you can see there is a plant pot, so we're going to stand underneath that plant pot. So if Hector starts coming along up on the village here, and you feel that the young lady will be outside of the hostel when he arrives, we're just going to give him a quick nudge to slow him down. There is the young lady. We need to get ourselves back in position here. Coins at the ready. So she will go into the hostel, and we are then going to set a coin trap for Hector, who will veer off to our left. So we're going to leave a little trail of coins. We'll hold on till the last one until Hector's much more in range, and once we drop that final coin, he will then get distracted by that. That will lead him to collect the first coin, which will lead him to collect the second and third coins. And when he goes in for that third coin, we can then be in position up on the balcony on the hostel with our pistol in hand ready to drop the flower pot on his head. There we go. And that was quite the impact, that one there. Looks like it nearly decapitated him. So at this point we require one more item, which is stored up in the construction site, and that would be our lockpick. So we're going to quickly grab our lockpick here. There we go. And we are going to make our way back to the hostel. And we are going to let ourselves in once this gentleman wanders off. So as you can see, everybody's going into panic mode over Hector Delgado. So we're in no particular rush. The gentleman on the stairs has done a Houdini. So we are going to let ourselves into the hostel. We're going to add the lethal poison we have collected to the souvenir on the table. We're going to turn on the alarm clock radio. We're going to close that door because that door seems to be broken. We're going to turn off the alarm clock radio, and we are going to position ourselves behind the opposite door with our pistol ready. I think I'll reload that actually. Once the target comes in, the hippie, we are going to plant 2 bullets in his back as long as the door is closed. We're going to deposit him in the closet provided, and we are going to then take his outfit. There we go, looking rather snazzy. We're then going to fix the souvenir using the glue we've collected. Good as new. And then we're going to make our way down to the tunnel entrance, which will be by the medical facility, which is just opposite the road leading up to the Delgado mansion. We're going to stop in this derelict building first of all, and using our silenced pistol we're going to take care of the camera at the back of the medical facility. We're then going to drop our pistol as we are about to go through a frisk. We are going to approach the 2 guards guarding the entrance to the underground tunnels, and after we've gone through our frisk, one of the 2 guards will then let us down, or lead us down into the tunnels, and we will meet up with Jorge Franco. Yeah, I'm right in your face, mate. What are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what you're going to do about it. You are going to lead me straight down that tunnel behind you. Thank you very much. Let's not engage in small talk. Thank you. I'm here on business, not pleasure. So this guard is going to allow us extra entrance into the tunnels, as we won't be able to get in without a key card. And he is going to lead us around and to the right. Remember that, because we will be heading around and to the left on the way out. Once we get inside, we're going to take a seat, and we are going to await the arrival of Jorge Franco, who, as you can see, has already arrived. But sometimes you can be waiting around depending on where he is when you enter the building. The tunnels, the caves, the caverns.
Let's have a look.
So Jorge Franco is going to engage us in conversation. He's then going to ask us to place the souvenir on the table over here, and that is pretty much job done. So Franco will go over mumbling away to himself. He will sample the souvenir cocaine brick, and he will find it not to his liking. And when he goes down, we can then make good our escape. Now, of course, I'm only sticking around for the purposes of the video. If you so wish, you could already by now be well on your way to the nearest exit, which will be, in this case, the bus stop exit. So down goes Mr. Franco, rather ungracefully, and we can then exit the area before anyone suspects us of foul play. And remember, we are going right at the junction, left at the junction. I did actually know that, but I was going to make a little joke out of it, which I forgot to do. So all we have to do now is exit the tunnels and make our way back over to the bus stop and await the rather regular bus out of Santa Fortuna. So there we go, one more subscriber contract taken care of, and we have confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan. We had no objectives, and we get a silent assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.